Let me tell you something. Life isn't a fairy tale. It's not a smooth ride where everything falls into place. It's war. A battlefield where the weak get devoured and the strong get forged. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you're already at war. A war with yourself, a war with your mind, a war against everything inside you that wants to keep you weak, afraid, and ordinary. Most people don't even know they're fighting. They walk through life blind, soft, unprepared. They think life will be kind if they play safe, if they avoid struggle, if they hide from pain. But let me tell you this, the world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how much you've suffered, how unfair your situation is, or how badly you want success. It only responds to one thing, strength. And strength isn't something you just wake up with. It's not something you're born into. Strength is built in suffering. It's earned in the trenches of pain, failure, and hardship. It's the result of battle scars that don't just decorate your skin but carve themselves into your mind. Mental toughness is a choice to endure when everything inside you screams to quit, a choice to suffer willingly so that one day nothing can break you. Most people run from this. They seek comfort. They hide in distractions. They numb themselves with entertainment, with validation, with temporary pleasure. And every single time they do, they weaken their armor. They let their mind atrophy. They become slaves to their emotions, to their weaknesses, to their circumstances. But then there are the few, the outliers, the ones who don't run from suffering, they chase it. The ones who look pain in the eye and say, give me more. The ones who don't need motivation because they are powered by something greater, discipline, purpose, obsession. If you want to be mentally tough, you have to understand this. Every single moment, you're either making yourself harder or making yourself weaker. There is no in between. Every choice, every action, every thought is either sharpening your mind or dulling it. When you hit the snooze button, when you skip that workout, when you procrastinate on your goals, you're training yourself to be weak. You're in the habit of quitting. But when you push through exhaustion, when you show up despite fear, when you do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel, you're forging yourself into something unbreakable. And this isn't just about being tough. This is about survival. Because life will test you. It will push you to your limits. It will break you down and spit you out if you're not ready. And when that happens, the question is, will you fold or will you rise? That's the difference between the weak and the strong. The weak pray for easier battles. The strong become the weapon. So now ask yourself, how far are you willing to go? Are you going to be one of the many who fade into mediocrity? Or are you going to be one of the few who stand unshaken while the rest crumble? This is the war within. And it's time to decide whether you're a soldier or just another casualty. Chapter 1. Embrace the suffering. Let me tell you something. Life never handed me a damn thing. Nothing was easy. Nothing was fair. My environment, ruthless. My circumstances, brutal. I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the smartest. Hell, I was just another face nobody getting chewed up and spit out by life. And every single day, I had a choice. Stay weak, let life break me, or get up, take the hit, and keep moving forward. Most people, they don't make that choice. They fold, they crumble, they pray for an easier road, for lighter burdens. But I learned something early on. Suffering isn't your enemy, it's your greatest ally. Because suffering is the sharpening stone that refines your mind. It's the fire that burns away weakness. It's the hammer that forges the kind of strength most people will never have. Every time you run from pain, you're running from your own potential. The problem with most people, they're soft. They want life to be easy. They dream of success, but they're allergic to struggle. They pray for comfort, not realizing that comfort is the real enemy. Comfort lulls you into mediocrity. It robs you of growth. It makes you fragile, dependent, weak. You say you want to be mentally tough? Then stop avoiding discomfort and start living in it. You want to get stronger? Put yourself through hell. You want to stop feeling weak? Walk straight into the fire. You want to become unbreakable? Break yourself down and rebuild from the ashes. Because let me be clear, pain is the price of power. Every great warrior, every legend, every unstoppable force you've ever admired was built in the trenches of suffering. They didn't become strong because life was easy. They became strong because they endured what others couldn't. And that's the difference. Weak people quit when it gets hard. The elite, they thrive in hardship. They embrace the grind. They know that pain is not an obstacle. It's the way forward. So now ask yourself, do you really want to be great, or do you just like the idea of it? Because greatness isn't found in motivation. It's not found in hype, in inspiration, in feel-good speeches. It's found in discipline. In showing up every damn day when every cell in your body is screaming at you to stop. That's what separates the elite from the average talk. The elite do. The average hope. The elite bleed for it. The average dream. The elite suffer, endure, and rise. So I'll ask you again, do you have the guts to suffer for it? Because if not, turn back now. But if you do, welcome to the fire. Chapter 2. Turn your pain into power. Let me tell you something. Pain is a tool. But most people, they use it the wrong way. They let it break them. They let it define them. They become prisoners of their own suffering, walking around like victims, chained to the past, stuck in a cycle of self-pity. But the strongest minds, they take pain and turn it into fuel. So, let me ask you, what's your story? What pain are you carrying? Because I promise you this, that pain has the power to either destroy you or forge you into something unstoppable. You see, pain doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care who you are, where you come from, or what you've been through. Pain comes for everyone. The difference? How you respond. The weak let it consume them. They let it crush their spirit. But the mentally tough, they use it. They take every ounce of suffering, every scar, every betrayal, every failure, and they turn it into power. Because here's the harsh truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to drag you out of your misery. No one is going to hand you strength. If you want to be unbreakable, you have to go into the darkness alone and build yourself from scratch. I remember when I was at my lowest. No hope, no direction. Just me and the weight of my own failures crushing me. And that's when it hit me. This pain wasn't here to destroy me. It was here to shape me. Most people fear pain. They run from it. They beg for an easy way out. But if you truly want to dominate your own mind, you have to change how you see suffering. Every scar, it's a lesson. Every failure, it's a step forward. Every moment of pain, it's a gift if you have the strength to use it. Because here's what no one tells you. Pain is the key to transformation. Look at the most powerful people in history. The warriors, the leaders, the legends. They weren't born tough. They were forged in fire. They were beaten, broken, pushed to their limits. But crumbling, they used that suffering to rebuild themselves into something greater. That's the mindset you need. You don't run from pain, you make it bow to you. Your heartbreak? Use it. Your failures? Use them. Your struggles? Use them. You want mental toughness? Start seeing pain as a privilege. Because every ounce of suffering you endure is making you harder, sharper, stronger. The ones who run from pain stay weak. The ones who embrace it, they become monsters. So the question is, are you ready to stop avoiding your pain and start using it? Because if you are, the path is brutal. It's lonely, but it will turn you into something most people will never become, truly unstoppable. Chapter 3. Kill the weak voice inside you. Listen up. Inside your head, there are two voices. One is weak, one is unstoppable. And every single day, you choose which one you listen to. The weak voice, it's a liar. It whispers excuses in your ear. You've done enough. You deserve a break. This is too hard. That voice is your enemy. It's the voice that keeps you soft, keeps you weak, keeps you settling for less than you're capable of. And the more you listen to it, the stronger it gets. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip a workout, every time you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, you feed the weakness. But there's another voice inside you, a savage, a warrior, a force of nature. This voice doesn't care how tired you are, how much it hurts, or how impossible it seems. This voice doesn't make excuses. It doesn't beg for comfort. It doesn't stop when it's tired. It stops when it's done. And that voice, that's the real you, the unbreakable you. The version of yourself that doesn't quit, doesn't surrender, and doesn't let weakness win. But here's the truth. The weak voice will never disappear. It will always be there, whispering, waiting for you to slip. The difference between the strong and the weak is simple. Who you choose to listen to. I learned this the hard way. My body broke down. My mind was on fire. My muscles were shredded. My bones felt like they were turning to dust. And every breath felt like I was breathing in fire. And in those moments of absolute suffering, the weak voice was screaming at me. Quit. No one would blame you. You've already proven yourself. But then I learned something that changed my life forever. Your body will quit long before your mind has to. Pain is a trick. Fatigue is a lie. Your body will scream for mercy. But your mind is limitless if you learn how to control it. That's why weak people stay weak. They think pain means stop. They think discomfort means they need a break. But the strongest people, they know the truth. Pain is just weakness leaving the body. So every time you hear that weak voice creeping in, you shut it down. You don't give it room to breathe. You don't let it negotiate with you. You don't let it win. Because weakness is a disease. And the only cure? Discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving when your body begs to stop. Discipline is what makes you wake up early when every fiber of your being wants to stay in bed. Discipline is what makes you push harder, run further, suffer longer, because you know that suffering is the price of greatness. And the best part, the more you kill that weak voice, the stronger you become. But understand this war never ends. That weak voice, it's always waiting, watching, looking for a moment of weakness to creep back in. So you have two choices. You can feed the weakness, or you can starve it. You can listen to the excuses, or you can bury them under relentless action. So the question is, who's in control? Because if you don't master your mind, it will master you. Chapter 4, Discipline over Motivation. Let me make one thing clear. Motivation is a scam. It's a fair weather friend, a fleeting spark, a temporary high that vanishes the moment things get tough. You think you can rely on motivation? Try waking up at 4 a.m. when your body aches. Try pushing through pain when every muscle screams for relief. Try staying locked in when the world tempts you with distractions. Motivation won't be there. That's why weak people fail. They wait for motivation. They rely on feeling like it. But feelings are unreliable. One day, you're fired up. The next, you're drained. If your success depends on how you feel, you're already doomed. But there's something stronger, something unshakable, something that doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or your mood. It's called discipline. The difference between winners and everyone else, the difference between those who achieve and those who just dream. Discipline. It's waking up when you don't want to. It's training when you're exhausted. It's pushing forward when every part of you is begging to stop. Winners don't rely on motivation. They rely on habits. They don't think. They don't negotiate. They don't ask, do I feel like doing this today? They just do it. Because here's the truth. You don't need to feel like doing something to do it. Do you think warriors feel like fighting every day? No. They do it because they must. Do you think champions feel like training every day? No. They do it because it's non-negotiable. Do you think the strongest minds feel like pushing through suffering? No. But they know that suffering is the gateway to strength. They don't wait for the right moment. They make the moment right. The cold, hard truth. Most people have it backwards. They think motivation leads to action. Wrong. Action leads to motivation. You don't feel motivated to work out? Doesn't matter, start moving. You don't feel motivated to work on your goals? Sit down and do the work anyway. You don't feel like pushing yourself today? Good. That's exactly why you should. Because every time you push through without motivation, you strengthen the muscle of discipline. And discipline, it doesn't fade. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't abandon you. That's why discipline is the foundation of mental toughness. It's the force that keeps you locked in when everything around you is trying to break you. You want to be mentally tough? Stop waiting for motivation. Stop relying on temporary emotions to dictate your actions. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. That's the difference between the elite and everyone else. And the choice is yours. Do you want to be disciplined, or do you want to be average? Chapter 5. Destroy comfort before it destroys you. Listen to me. Comfort is the silent killer. It's the slow poison that robs you of your potential, your strength, and your future. You think you're safe? You think life is about seeking pleasure and avoiding pain? That mindset is exactly why people stay weak. Comfort makes you soft. It numbs your hunger. It lulls you into mediocrity while whispering, you're doing fine. But you're not fine. You're stuck. You're stagnant. You're dying in slow motion. And if you don't wake up and declare war on comfort, you'll never become who you were meant to be. Why comfort is your enemy? Look at history. The strongest warriors, the greatest leaders, the most dominant minds, they all had one thing in common. They embraced hardship. They didn't seek comfort. They didn't run from pain. They trained in it. They lived in it. Spartans, raised in brutal conditions from birth. Navy SEALs, trained to endure the most grueling challenges imaginable. The most successful people in the world, they live outside their comfort zones, pushing themselves beyond their limits every single day. Meanwhile, most people today are drowning in comfort, sitting on their couches, scrolling on their phones, indulging in junk food, wasting their potential, and they wonder why they're miserable. The truth about growth: you want to grow, you want to get stronger, you want to be mentally unbreakable, then you need to start craving discomfort. Stop sleeping in a warm, cozy bed, wake up early, and attack the day. Stop avoiding hard tasks, face them head on, and push through. Stop seeking easy wins, embrace challenges that force you to level up, because here's the truth. Growth only happens in discomfort. Your muscles grow when you break them down. Your mind strengthens when you push through struggle. Your character is forged in suffering, not in ease. The world has tricked you into thinking that life is about avoiding pain. That's a lie. Life is about building the strength to endure it. Comfort will steal your future. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're making a choice to stay weak. Every time you hit snooze instead of getting up, you're losing to comfort. Every time you skip the gym because you're too tired, you're losing to comfort. Every time you choose pleasure over discipline, you're losing to comfort. And eventually comfort will consume you. It will strip you of your power. It will steal your potential. It will destroy your future. You think comfort is your friend. It's your greatest enemy. The only way to win, if you want to be mentally tough, if you want to be truly unstoppable, you need to kill your addiction to comfort. Make yourself uncomfortable every single day. Take cold showers. Push yourself in training. Work longer than you think you can. Do things that make you suffer, because suffering makes you stronger. And over time, something will change. You won't just endure discomfort, you'll crave it. Because discomfort means you're growing. Discomfort means you're getting better. Discomfort means you're becoming the strongest version of yourself. The choice is yours. Right now, you have two options. Stay in your comfort zone, live an easy life, and die full of regret. Step into discomfort, embrace the struggle, and become unstoppable. The weak choose comfort. The strong choose growth. So tell me, which one are you? The final message. Become unbreakable. The world will test you. Life will hit you harder than you ever imagined. But mental toughness, that's your armor. It's the thing that turns obstacles into opportunities, pain into power, suffering into strength. So stop looking for the easy way. Stop hoping for comfort. Stop making excuses. Make yourself harder. Make yourself stronger. Make yourself unstoppable. Because in the end, it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you rise. And the ones who keep rising, they're the ones who conquer the damn world. This isn't a speech. This isn't just words. This is your call to arms. You want to be mentally tough? Then start acting like it. No more weakness. No more excuses. No more waiting. Get up and get after it.